In this video, we're going to be looking at task 5 of the audit and assurance first sample assessment. So task 5 is about procedures for obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. So in part A, we need to identify which verification technique is the most appropriate to confirm the following audit objectives. So the first one, we've got a bank balance used in the client's year-end bank reconciliation. So let's have a look at the choices available to us here. So we can perform analytical procedures. Well, that can be quite difficult for bank balances because depending on what's happening in the month, that may go up or down. So that could be done, but not necessarily the best. But external confirmation, well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? If we can get the bank to write to us and verify how much was in the account, then that would be a good way of verifying how much the bank balance is. Then next we've got the client's draft statement of profit or loss is in line with expectations. So when we're thinking about expectations, well, yeah, analytical procedures would be appropriate here because we could see that the profits each month were fitting in with our expectations. It was consistent with the prior year. So does it all sort of make sense? So that's quite a strong procedure. And then the non-current assets in the statement of financial position physically exist. Well, normally this would be done by observing them. So we just want to see that, oh yeah, there it is. But observation is not on the list. So what would be the next best appropriate here? Well, we could inspect the asset. Normally inspection would be done a bit more detailed than simple observation. But even so, if we inspect the asset, we could see that it was there. Then we need to complete these statements. When auditors are testing items on the statement of financial position, they are testing for the audit assertion of, well, there could be all sorts of assertions here. So I think we need to look at the list here. So existence or occurrence. Okay, so this is a bit of an annoying thing in the international standards on auditing because these two assertions are basically the same. But the difference is that we want to verify that an asset exists. And we want to verify that revenue occurs. Okay, so they basically mean the same thing. Yet should these numbers be in the accounts? But frustratingly, one of them is for the statement of financial position and one of them is for the statement of profit and loss. So just try to remember that assets exist, revenue occurs. And in this case, because we're talking about the statement of financial position, we're thinking about existence. And then when auditors are testing that all expenditure items have been included in the profit and loss account, everything about has everything been included? So here we're trying to verify completeness. Have we included everything? Are the expenses complete? Now, part C is about the technology we could be using in audits. So we've got 3 terms: data analytics tools, audit software, test data, and what are they trying to achieve? So let's look at the last two first of all, because data analytics can be done in a variety of different things really, but audit software and test data are a bit more specific. So test data, that's where we're using the client's software to verify the controls are working properly. So if you look at the choices here, we can see that the third one relates to the effectiveness internal controls. So we could be running example transactions through their system to verify that the controls are working properly on them. And then what about audit software? This is where the auditors use their own software and they're using it to sort of help with the process of doing the audit. And if we look at the examples here, so for example, yes, we could use a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet is an example of audit software. So we could use a spreadsheet to confirm arithmetic calculations and identify gaps in processing sequences. So that would be appropriate there. And then for data analytics, so we can see our third choice there, test the effectiveness of their application controls before and after a change. So so we're using the analytics to look at the situation before, look at the situation after, have the changes fitted in with what we'd expect to be happening. And part D, identify which automated tools and techniques you would use in the following audit tests. So if we want to re-perform our client's depreciation calculations, so we're not doing this in terms of controls, are we? We're doing some substantive testing. So again, that's another thing for us to be aware of, and the difference between the two. Audit software is for substantive testing and test data for test of controls. So here we're trying to substantiate the numbers, so that would be audit software. And the second, we're testing controls, so that's going to be test of data. Next, you're testing for the completeness of trade payables in the financial statements. So are these true or false? So you would inspect post-year-end invoices. So we want to verify that all of the payables have been included. So if we have a look at the invoices after the end of the year, that would help us to verify whether or not they have been correctly excluded or included in the accounts. So yes, we would look at post-year-end invoices to verify that they generally were post-year-end and shouldn't have been included in the accounts, and that's going to be a test of completeness. Yeah. Have we included everything? Well, let's look at things that they haven't included and verify whether that's correct. Then in your sample for circularization of trade payables, you would include nil balances. So remember, in a circularization, we're going to ask the various suppliers, please confirm, is this the correct amount that we owe you? And we include nil balances. Remember, we're testing for completeness now. We're trying to verify that we've not forgotten to include things. So if we say to a supplier, oh, we think you owe us, or we owe you nothing. And then the supplier will say, no, actually you owe us £5,000, don't you? And you've forgotten about it. So yeah, that would be a good thing to do. Yeah, we want to tell them, yeah, we think it's zero. What do you think? And that would help to verify that payables is complete. And then agree the trade payables ledger to cash paid after the statement of financial position. So yeah, if we paid money after the end of the year, that will suggest that we owed the money in the first place. So yeah, that would be a good test, wouldn't it? But it wouldn't be a test of completeness. Yeah, that'd be a test of existence. So if we wanted it to be a test of completeness, we'd have to do it the other way around. We'd have to start off with the cash that we paid after the end of the year and verify that that had been included in the ledger. So remember, when we're doing a test of completeness or a test of existence, there is a direction. And so if we're doing a test of completeness, we're starting with a source document and verifying that it's been included in the accounts. So you would start with cash and verify that it was included in payables, not the other way around. So that would be false. And then the last part of the question, you've been assigned as an audit semi-senior on Garden World Limited, a company which operates a chain of 5 garden centres in the southwest of England. You've been assigned to work on the inventory section of the audit file. So to confirm that the inventory figure is complete, yeah, so we got a particular assertion here, we're looking at completeness again, you'd attend the year-end inventory count. So again, if it's completeness, we want to start with the source document and verify that it's in the accounts. Yes, so that means we're going to compare a sample of items from the, right, well, what's the source document? Is it the inventory sheet? Well, no, that's part of the accounts, isn't it? That non-current, well, no, that's irrelevant. There's nothing to do with inventory. Yeah, so we'd start off with the physical inventory, wouldn't we? Yeah, we're testing for completeness. We want to make sure that all the physical inventory has been included in the inventory sheets. Yeah, so that's the direction that we're going here.